Hello once, thank you Bobby here. Every single time I just gladly, as you know, I just at the time to get us started, but behind doing so, just wishing pause at your way, who been just watching by other videos today, by somewhat we are seeing of an gear, not that are not older anytime, but are very younger. Here are and a pretty boys, know many about her. Although it's not at the topic, it's not at the matter, shall be addressed during the program. Me thought I should bet no others, for example, producers shall be others one which are looking who, for example, being others artists and other will be just not so a lot famous, but have a lot of spirit, a lot of talent, and she will spin as well to share the world. Many songs we are so funny. Although us repeat, you not know many about this gear. I don't know because we are the first time. No, but regardless from the 5 videos being just check it out. Regardless, one are just enough to be hearing not only regardless being the device you spend to cross timely in hearing music, no, but whatever. You right now are coming on a program and a time to get started. Why? Because are so needed and are so highlight address this topic. Although many ones who will speak are no matters to be here and maybe who be some who that should be keep it away. No, by the Samsung program, but no, because it's not just a spiritual soul. It's not just to be uh, but finally with ourselves, but it's more about what's being the social development, the history, the fighting from the ruling, and to do so. Then more by that, the fighting, the ruling, what's going on through the history, the social happenings through the human being. In other words, being more about my program rather than the Samsung one. No, but it's just today who uh, um, at the time thereafter being, for example, at the Catholic Church drinking because the Masons are because the communists, not because we're taught happen, no. And there us wanna, for example, share who have in really belong at the Masons, belong at the those is are some who we are so being so messy and are some who we are so dark because if you remember, for example, those with being those lefters, we are many times promoting the crime, many times promoting fighting amongst at them um, and the job and to do so where then at the same we try and slide at the Pope Jean Paul II at the longer behind those one we are hooking for example and maining at the human trafficking and other rulings we are no more by those lefters where then at the same we try and slide at the Pope Jean Paul II longer behind. No, and now, for example, have fewer immigrants and have fewer, not everyone and not fully, but have fewer ones today are just told and they should let not, for example, at the Vatican, hooking at the ruling from the society anyway, not because, as you know, have other ruling way, have some who we are just getting wellness by the human being as well as getting social development too. No, but just right now have fewer immigrants and other we coming, for example, from the Latin America and today are just growing. Many of them than they wish not that the Vatican City led the ruling from the society. Why? Because we have um, somewhat we are just looking than are clashing than as skirmish, not than are some who then wishing not. But the reality is that today, for example, in the Vatican City, have others we are infiltrated. Because if you remain those conflict or those fighting amongst the Mason, no, for example, at the communists and the Vatican City were not just right now today, have longer time before. But at the reality be can have few words infiltrated in at the Vatican City. And many ones are not Catholics, are not Christian, and believe now that the Jesus Christ will be there, infiltrate, be there. Many in a lot of songs we are graceless by our by our social development because it's what just are getting at the Vatican City as well. Have many songs who are creating because hospital, because schools, because of farming, because food. Have many songs we are here in the Vatican City getting in our society by our own social development who are some who really important. But those one with being just growing among them at the reality because of being unmascated at the reality who did behind in other program at the reality be there at the reality be there who for example are those Masons or are those others who are far away really by the Christian or are others religion holders? They are just inner at the Vatican City and them are just spilling being and a priest and spilling being other son and a sword, a religious woman, whatsoever them be, but are not like that. The reality that are worshipping, for example, other religions, the reality that they are worshipping others ideologies, others prophet, and it's nothing about the Christianism, it's nothing about for example, the Catholicism, not at the Sadducees and at the Christianism, but on those denominations, just writing, well, because it's really what being happening today. It's the reality. Then what we are growing, being amongst at the Vatican City, with me just loving them because many times being living with me, that time be just my owner, persecutor, and even going to the homeland and just also loving them always because then shaming me at the suffering at the time being just catching by my way. They now being grown who, for example, those wars could sharing as war as well because they have the right to do so, but the reality is that the reality have few words infiltrated, the reality is that have viewers that are not uh, believe in Jesus anyway. They believe others prophets, they believe other religion and be there infiltrate in the Vatican City, no? And it's just why they are, for example, abusing our child and other because it's not the reality. The truth is that happened, no? And they were at the same we try lying at the behind our Pope, no, Pope just talent, John Paul II were in one time be there when being the wishings to slide our Pope John Paul II were more than two times or two times. No, and their which is the reality. Why? Because they're being infiltrated and today woefully the Pope, no, the Pope Francis could living at the same lookiness. Why? Because it's not the truth. And many times author at the Pope Francis spill. No, it's not true that others newspaper are just growing stealing that me are just threatened by others but this is not the truth. The truth is that those communists and those socialist poodles are threatened as well at the Pope Francis, just who did in a day before, who at the Pope John Paul II did just right now start with the Pope Francis, and wobbly when the newspaper because so obviously are so obviously that happen. No, obviously when being just at the newspaper voicing who at the pub being treated because of others wrong we are not wishing to no one beware we are there, woefully will threaten that if not seer that are not true, those words will be a slave. It's so who obviously fears threaten him, not that they need following them braveness, but later at the word beware so, but obviously later will threaten him again. No, spilling that shall be smithed is not are just screaming at war than the threatedness by his life are no more than awareness. It's the reality today. The Pope Francis has been threatened in living way as well as happening at the Jean Paul Pope were happening at the same. So today that the Pope Francis, many ones called forcing him to do something, if not his life will be no more here in the existence. Is that the truth today? And us know when it are just ruling so, but at the world which not believe us or are not I don't know what, but us know when it's no, but at the reality be there, no, and the reality is that at the Pope has been today just who Jean Paul treated and also are treated that needed say at the war that at the newspapers texting about them threateners are not true. Why? Because it now will be threatened again. His life will be no more here. I don't know if me just being so keenly today, but also very important because the social development are just who can produce authority today in the world. Authority because have many fightings by our social development, no, and have others one we not know what really been at the truth and us not judge them, no, us not judge them, but they need have other info and not alone living where they are watching what being at the truth is so. No, what being at the truth, they need have and or know have other knowledge about what is the other face coin. No, because they are just still in there that wish not the ruling ship from the Vatican City, or regardless, because now have different meanings, or regardless by the church, no, in the land is. But the reality is, for example, in the church, but the Vatican City have many ones and are not Christian, we are not Catholics, and the reality can be there no more than just throw there like that no more than there, and it's so truly no, they are well. There's prophet worshippers, and to do so that is no more than the truth. Not just wishing is like our pope, if not do what they want. In other words, our popes or the popes from those religion many times are forced because if not shall be slain. No, but it's just the reality today. Me wanna know forcing anyone thinking as me do. No, but the important be here. Others want to team being just with this political thinking, have more knowledge about what being the reality today in the world. By then have others life and me being just walking in the better zone. Well, once more, thank you by be there at the program. I so appreciate at the time and be with me. Just right now need going on to other home because I'm so busy and because of Sunset, as every single Thursday be there in the city sitting with others want to share all about the program and promote there with more once we wanna be with us. Thank you once more by being here and see you next time.